a maçã.
Essa é mentira.
Tudo bem. Olha só. today, oh my god, it's going to be an interesting. Many people have been looking for how to at least study abroad or relocate abroad. But really, today we have a conversation on how to migrate to the UK via the study routes. So let me welcome everyone once again. Let me welcome you all once again to another beautiful episode with Roy. It's still your favorite YouTube channel, Jinsei Matters with Roy. And today I have a special guest, someone I'm very, very sure you really like to meet. He's friendly, he's nice, he's jovial, he's a father of of a beautiful woman. Oh my gosh, his wife is so beautiful. Mm. Okay, without wasting much of our time, today we have with us Mr. Olawale Odetola Olawale. And really, he happens to be my faculty rep back in the university days and is really a very nice person you enjoy the conversation with today. So if you can see me clearly and you can hear me audibly well, don't hesitate to share me out with your friends or family members or colleagues at work that you feel they'll all also benefit greatly from today's discussion. Don't go away. Stay tuned, and I'm sure you don't want to miss any part of today's conversation. So, if that is your case, and you know someone who wants to migrate to the UK, or someone who actually is interested, or this conversation will benefit, tell them we are live and we have started. Get ready your questions, and it's going to be an interesting one. So join me as I invite Mr. Oretola Olawale on board. Thank you so much for doing this. Thank you very much for the privilege to have you on this conversation on this platform today. Kindly introduce yourself briefly and tell us any other thing you want us to know about you.
All right. Good afternoon. Um, my very dear good friend, Sister Rhoda. Um, I don't even know where to start from. But
Just start anywhere.
it's been a very long time, right from the days of Loud Tech. We thank God for how far He has brought us. He has helped us. We are grateful for God for that, and we know He's still going to take us to many other great places.
Amen.
I'm not a pastor, so I don't want to start sounding like
You're not a pastor, but then you can also make prayers that are strong prayers.
exactly. Exactly.
Don't worry. Continue to pray. We'll keep saying Amen.
Good afternoon, listeners. Like my friend rightly said, I am Odetola Olawale Kayode.
Mm-mm,
I'm
I got
from I'm from Ibadan, capital letter. So that is, and I'm currently a master student in the United Kingdom. I agreed to come and share the knowledge base with all of us today because I believe, as much as we accept that we got credible, trustworthy, reliable agents out there, we understand that we have got many others bad agents that they're after their own money. They got to register and hide the exact information from you, and they leave you to God when you um, got to the UK. That's what they call you on your own when you get there. So I just feel we need to start encouraging ourselves and looking back to how the situation of things are in Nigeria. So if you happen to be one ambitious person that actually know the right thing, that on its own might be affecting your sanity. Not to talk about economy, security, and the like. So I so much believe that if you have the means, I always emphasize on the means. You is what you could always give a try for, because without the means you can actually go out. And We've got so many people that have the means that don't have the way because they are scared of what they have been hearing online. This agent do this person, this agent do this and that. So we brought it down to you for you to understand it. That is as simple as ABC. It is what you can do yourself, and that's why we are here. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. In fact, you've even given us just a summary, a summary of the purpose of today's conversation. Okay. Thank you so much for that intro. Okay, so without wasting much time, because I know so many people have been looking forward to this conversation. Yes, in fact, few minutes ago, a friend of mine was like, "See, me, I'm tired of even reading. I'm tired of all those read, read, read. Let me just hear the cocoa of the matter." So now, let's just go straight to the point now. All right. Please kindly share with us how were you able to go about your migration to the UK? I'm sure you went via the education, the study route. So kindly share with us from the scratch. How did it go? How did you
Okay.
start the application, the process, and everything? Just take us through step by step. Don't worry. We'll get our pen and start writing.
Okay. Yeah. Good afternoon once again, everyone. So let me start by this that the first thing is that you must have the will, like you are ready that you want to actually go this route. You must have the means, the financial implication. So once you have gotten the two things I mentioned, then you can start. So studying the UK through the coming to study in the UK, I think it starts on these three subjects. Is that one, you must know the school you want to study from or at, depending on the right word to use, and you must know how to the course you want to come and do. Then the third one, you must know how to go about the admission process. So it's quite unfortunate, though many people that want to travel out to study are graduates, but many people will still have some people still have the question. You still be wondering that is this person really graduate? Like people want to be spoon feed. People want to they want you to make everything to them on a platter of gold, which is not actually possible, and that's why many people uh, got into problem with their application through the use of agent because they rely 100% on agent. It's a two-way things. If you are not that busy because it's kind of time consuming, it is what you can do yourself. And on the other hand, if you have got a credible agent, I added credible because I know there are some good agents that you can use if you are the kind of busy type. But what I would just advise that if you are using agent or want to use agent, you must first of all understood the process yourself. Without understanding the process, is just like you are making it blanket for them. So any information they bring to your notice, you accept as ABC. So because of our time, let me quickly start now. The first point I would like to talk about is understanding the school you want to go to. That is the basis. We've got over 200 schools in the United Kingdom. You might not know everything, but at least we've seen online. And it's very easy to know the name of university in this country for those of us that are lovers. Once you hear of Liverpool Football Club, just know there is a university in that city. Any most of the club that bears the name of a city, they have a corresponding university. Sunderland Football Club, there's a university in Sunderland. Manchester, there's a university in Manchester. Swansea, there's a university in Swansea. So most of these cities, they've got their university, and each town or city, or should I call it village, yeah, some are like village, have got their own university. So the first thing is to uh know the university you want to attend to. And although when people tell you to search Google in Nigeria, is always in form of like insult, but we like to tell us here that Google is the right channel to search for information. So if I use the word search Google, don't see it in the Nigerian context. Please see it in the normal context that I want you to get your information fast. That's what I'm saying. So we need use of Google. So, but how to search for Google information online is what actually make it easy for people. You need to understand how to search for information on Google, just like you want to write your project. Everything you need, like I was telling somebody last month, that there is nothing new on earth to write about. We are all recycling information. So using paraphrasing, we paraphrase other people's work, then we bring in new idea, interpretation, and that just it. So Google is our first this thing. So you search into Google that UK. I'm starting from the basis because I want us to understand the basis ourselves, so that the idea is for us to get this thing done on our own. And even if you are going to use an agent, you will know what the agent is doing for you. It's just as if you know how to drive a car and you have a driver. So whenever there's any issue, you can always say, "Oh, you reduce your brake." The driver will not be thinking that he can just drive you anyhow. He'll be conscious of the fact that this guy can ask me to come down at any time and take over the car. Do you understand now? So that
Yeah,
is the
that's all.
analysis I'm going to use for us. Know how to drive, but if you choose to have a driver because of your status or because of your busy schedule, you can still go ahead. So the first thing is to know the schools. And how do you know the schools in UK? It's very simple. You don't need to cram anything. You don't need to just go into your www.google.com and search universities in the United Kingdom. You are going to get a list of every schools in the UK. Then after you have seen the school, which is the first point, in the choice of school year, the love of the city. Many of us are used to hearing Liverpool. Oh, the dream of everybody is to go to Liverpool. Like I'm a Liverpool supporter. So the first option I went for is University of Liverpool. Like I would like to stay in the city. You understand? And so many of us might have that kind of mindset too. So doing once you are looking at the city, if you happens to be a lover of Manchester United, you might write University of Manchester down. So just write that 10 or 15 university down first. Then you now go to the second stage of using Google to search for your course too. For you to determine the course you want to come for is into two. You have to consider two factors. The first factor is your first degree. What did you study at your first degree? Then the second factor is your professional career. We are so blessed in our country that you might study Yoruba language and end up becoming a banker. Um, Many of us we just like go to school. That's why you will see an agricultural student into sending bag and this thing online, and because there have not been much work, so many people are just it's just like we are living to survive in Nigeria. Many of us are not trying to fulfill any dream except for those that have the means. So you have to consider two things: your first degree and your professional work. And I just stated the reason why I stated profession. So for fresh graduate, if you want to come abroad, for fresh graduate, if you finish school last year, 2 years ago, you can look for courses that are related to your first degree, because you are still very fresh. You study agricultural economics and you want to travel abroad, your first option should be, do you want to continue in your first degree line? Not that you cannot change to something else abroad. Abroad has to do like with your intention, what you they want you to, they prefer you to come and do what you are good at. But I'm just saying that the first option should be what you study in your agricultural economics. So your choice, your search for course should go along what you study. So for instance, now if I study agricultural economics as a first degree and I want to go for my master's a year after or 2 years I'm done. So I should be looking like we've got many modules under agricultural, or many options under agricultural economics. It could be economics, it could be agribusiness, it could be this or that. It could be even pure economics. So the first option, so let's assume you want to go for economics, then you use your Google again, www.google.com, and search MSc Economics in UK universities. So you're going to get a lot of another answers. So then with each university, then you begin to pick. Maybe from the first university, 15 university you pick, you are seeing some names there. Pick from them, and from other you write down too. So if you have gotten like 10 names for university, 10 names for courses that offer that university, so you are now at stake two. You've gotten your course, the course you are looking for, and you've gotten the name of the school that offers them. Not all the schools offer all the course you want. Then the third one, you now go to the admission. The most important thing, every school has their requirements. If A wants ABC, B might want YXYZ. So if anybody tells you that once you have this and that, you are good to go. Do we have general requirements and we have specific requirements? So we need to understand that. So that's the third one. The third one is that now that you are at the point you've seen the schools that offers your admission, then the first thing to check on the requirement is uh if you want to continue to PhD level, at least the modules, the content of the master should really matters to you. So you can go through all their modules, what you intend to learn when you get there. But to me, as a Nigerian that want to live by fire by force, I think the first thing should be the school fees, because they varies from school to school. So the first thing to look at the requirement is the school fees. Is it £10,000? Is it £15,000? Is it £20,000? Because different school charge different things for the same course. So not that if a university is charging 10,000, B must. And that's what we call discount too. They give different discounts. So your first what's it called work will be on understanding the fee and the available discount. So if you can afford a £10,000 school and you have seen like three, then you should write those three down. If you can afford 15,000 and you have seen like 3, 4, 5, 6, 15,000 school, write the name down. So that means you know the school you're applying to. The general requirement for all the schools are the same. Like you must have your international passport, you must have your transcript, student copy. If you want to apply to Canada, US, on each application you make, you are to send official transcript, which costs a lot. You pay your school for your transcript, you pay those people that help you to fast track it, then you pay for courier service. But in the UK one, you don't have to spend money on transcript. Once you get a student copy, a copy of your transcript, you can use it to apply to 1,000 schools in UK, because you have to upload your transcript, so you don't have to spend extra money. And also, every application is free. You don't pay to apply to any UK school. It is free.
Mm.
Yes, yes. Before I settled down for the school I am now, I got like 13 admissions from different schools.
Wow.
So I had like 13 admission, and I have to do a lot of what they call in Yoruba, all these things, two things before I made I made a lot
Ije,
of
Ije.
I made a lot of I made a lot of comparison between I it took me a while before I decided, because I will look at the merit of this to compare to the merit of this until I set it down for the one I actually felt is okay. So that is just part of the story. So once you are okay, yeah, then the application is free. So you have the luxury of picking up to 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 schools. You know that every time I'm saying it takes time. But it's better for you to spend this time to understand this thing than for you to now put your life, what's it called, life stuff into somebody else that will just do it anyway, or someone that you cannot even put and make an input. If you talk to someone that want to do bad to you and the person understand that you know what you are talking about, that might create a kind of fear in their heart. Ah, oga, check this school for me. I check it, the requirement is different from any school you help me to see is okay by me. Do you understand? So I'm breaking it down so that we can understand, because the essence is for us to understand this thing and for us to get it done ourselves.
Mm.
So
Thank you so
once
much.
once you understand that it is free application, then you already know the school, you already know the cost. Then the other applications are what you know. You must have minimum of two. Then before lest I forget, those that I won't forget, I've already spoken about if you graduated not quite long, that you can study through the your first degree. Then also about your professional life too, your professional career, you can choose your masters in relating to that. You can claim, although I studied Yoruba language 10 years ago, but because I have been into banking sector for the past 9 years, I believe coming for masters in banking and finance will help me to develop my career to the next level they
Wow.
will offer you admission to.
Wow.
So that's why I said it's a two-way things, either your first degree or your professional. But most of these things, that before you make any decision, you should always look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself the question. Like, you finished 10 years ago, Yoruba, you've been a banker for 9 years, and you want to apply for masters in Yoruba in abroad. So now look yourself in the mirror and ask your question, if you are the admission officer, that what is the first thing that first come to your mind? That somebody that finished 10 years ago Yoruba language, even if what's it called? The fact that you've been in banking for 10 years means, if you have not forgotten everything you have taught, you will have forgotten like 30% of what 50% or more of what you have taught. You won't be able to put army on those Yoruba language again by the time you now want to go for masters. So that is just the best way to for self assessment is the best. Ask yourself that question, then give it an honest answer. That because most of the things that it is not you are not the only one that want to apply to any particular school. You've got applicant from Asia, from America, from ocean, and everywhere, other part of the world. We've got over 200 countries, if I'm not mistaken, or 194, something like that, over the world. Everybody, we've got one person in each state of that country that is tired of their country that want to go abroad. So now imagine that 200 people are sending an application, and they've got people that have gotten fantastic package, and you just send it for sending sake. You should know that you are sending your application to face competition. So be at your best advantage. If you are doing your self assessment and you notice any minus, try it. If you don't solve that minus, don't continue to the next stage. Not that they will understand, I don't have time again. So any minus you get doing your self assessment, make sure you take care of it before you move to the next one, because that is very, very important. Is Although we make mistake that we don't know of, but if it is one that you know, that you see, attend
You're
to it
aware of.
immediately.
Mm.
Yeah, close that hole before you move to the next one. So now that's just like a summary. That's just like a explanation of the sorry, it's been long. We have this long session, this kind of long session. Uh
It's okay.
that is just like the tell me. So let me now summarize everything I've said this morning for us to understand. You want to study in the UK. What are the documents you need, the requirement? The first one is your valid passport. As cheap as passport is now, if you don't have passport, you can't go anywhere.
Mm. Sure.
It's just like you have petrol and you don't have a car, or you have petrol, you don't have a generator. You cannot work. And if you have a car without petrol, it can't work too. There are supplementary products. So the first thing is, it is as small as that passport is. Without it, there will not be any visa. So your valid passport first. Not that I have one passport that have expired 27 years ago. Work on your passport first because you need your passport to get your admission. Even if any school will give you admission without your passport, it will be conditional offer.
Mm.
It will be conditional offer. Then look at case scenario that 100 people apply for 50 spaces and other 99 people submitted their passport that are valid and you without valid. If you happen to be even the best this thing, they might think that maybe this person is not ready. When it's ready, we send us normal this thing. Although it's not the criteria for you to get admission, you will get conditional admission because you must fulfill that part. You must get your passport. And look at the situation of Nigeria. If you get the admission and the passport is not there, you start giving yourself emotional and mental stress. So get your
Stress.
passport ready, valid passport. Then the second one is academic and professional reference letter. I mentioned that you could go for a master's in your first degree or your professional. So you need reference letter in those two areas. One of the two, it depends on the school. Some school will ask you to submit the two, some will just ask you to give them one. So if you are still in contact with any of the lecturer, get reference letter with specific mention to the school. Or it could be a generic if you know you can't be disturbing your lecturers for different school. You could make it a generic one. We have two types. We have generic types and specific types. Specific type, we mention the name of the school, university of so this thing with their address on the letter. But the generic will be that to whom it may what concern, reference letter. I write to support so this thing. You want to come and do masters in your school. You will not
So
mention the
that
name of the school, but in specific,
so that can be gotten from anybody, not necessarily your professor in school or maybe your supervisor.
I think it's better you get it from your school because they must include their official email and
Mm.
phone number. So if you finish from University of UI, for instance, and that is the only degree you've got, and you want to come and do masters in Nigeria, you're now going to go and carry somebody, a lecturer at University of Uyo reference letter. It's going to look somehow that how will you finish in a school for 4 years, 5 years, and you have somebody that likes you, that can vouch for you.
Is
So
it
it's
is
going to
is it compulsory that the person is from your faculty or your department? Can the person be outside your department or faculty?
where
Still your university
yes, I know, but I think it would be better if the person is from your department. I
department.
think it's better that way. Yeah, department is better because university is so big that what's it called? They might not how is the best way? So I'm trying to use for the best expression for explanation for this is if you say you want to use anybody from the university, maybe for character reference,
Mm.
you can use that. For character reference, yeah, you can use anybody from university that I know, so he finished from this school, he's a good lad, he's a good lad, and this thing. But for academic purpose, it is advisable for you to get
From your
someone
department.
from your department, most especially your
Mm.
supervisor, course advisor, or HOD or anything. It won't be that bad for you not to have anybody.
Oh
If you
my
don't
god.
have somebody you can relate with in your own department, then it's
Oh
better you
my
go and do
god.
another undergraduate program. I think that is just it.
Oh my god.
Because
You see
it won't
you
be
see
that
the
bad
reason
for you.
why you see the reason
It
why
won't be
sorry. You see the reason why it's good to always have a good relationship with our supervisors. it's because of it's because of days like this.
okay because for instance now, if you are coming to do we've got two type of masters, research based and professional thought. If you are coming to do research based masters program and you send me your reference letter and the person cannot say he will as his supervisor will undergo so this kind of thing, this if you've had that kind of reference letter from your supervisor, it will show that you've already done one before compared to he finished from university or so this thing. He's a good boy. He's always minding his business. He has a clean record. They are both reference letter, but the
Sure.
content
Mm.
varies. And someone that was never your supervisor can never put that thing that you have done research in this thing before together,
Mm.
or he was the head of my group research. The content really matters. Reference is reference, but the content is really what matters.
Matters.
So it's always preferable that you use your supervisor, your advisor, or anybody within your department. If you don't see within your department, you can use your faculty,
Mm.
but the first option should be your supervisor or someone that is within your department. The same thing as professional reference, work reference. I think someone asked me this question last week. Let me answer this in case someone wants to ask that. Many of us are scared of the fact that we don't want people to know what we have in plan, most especially at work, so that our work will not be at risk. For professional, what's it called, letter, you don't have to get it from your office. You don't have to get it from what's it called, from your present work or place. You could get it from maybe somebody that you have worked with before. You could get it from your customer. You could get it with someone that has mentored you before. Because I understand the Nigeria work system is so toxic that once you give them slight uh what's it
Hints.
called, sign of you leaving anytime soon, they start frustrating your life for no reason. So that's when your boss will start seeing you that you used to come by 8:15 instead of 8 o'clock and start raising unnecessary ego. So I think we need to understand that part. If you work in a toxic environment, don't say because you listen to one webinar session that say you need reference letter, you not get to work on Monday and say, okay, please, I need reference letter to university of this thing. So you can always get it. You can even get it from your friend that works. Anybody that's from managerial level can write reference letter for you
That's
and stay the relationship you have together.
for the professional
Yes, yes,
reference.
yes, yes, yes. Just to avoid the kind of toxic environment we have in
Mm.
Nigerian work place. Then also we need proof of English proficiency. So what they mean by this is your IELTS or TOEFL. But I think because UK understand that we are Nigerians and we are being taught in English. So I think that's why they allow it that you can get the letter from your school. The letter of in the content of letter is just like one paragraph that Lagbaja was graduated from this school so so year and he was taught in English. So it's not something that is so ambiguous or complex. Letter of English that so it is true that this person came to our school, attended our school, he
And he had
finished
all
this
his
year with this grade,
classes,
and
all
that's
his
like that
studies
is that is
was in
what you that
English.
is English proficiency for because many of us will start after the session you start checking online to look for the what's it called to look for requirement and you start seeing English proficiency. Now say but it didn't mention it told us that you don't need IELTS or TOEFL. If you see proof of English proficiency in any UK school, just know what they're asking for is that letter. Contact your school and get that letter. It's always from LAUTECH. Is you get it from the office of the deputy registrar.
But then I want to ask that can't you get the letter of of English proficiency from your secondary school? Must it always be from your university?
Yeah, in any admission you want to apply for, they judge you by your last qualification, most especially.
I see. That's
So
true.
you could go to secondary school where they taught you English and went to university that they taught you in French. So,
How possible is
so
that?
I think is I think it's better you use your last qualification
Okay.
to get that. So if your last qualification is SSC, you will get it from your secondary school. If
Okay.
you want to travel, no, some people I no these are an open forum. We will have got some people that want to come for undergraduate course here. So for those that are finished undergraduate this thing, then they can get it for that. And I think most undergraduate they will be. I think they are always required to write TOEFL or IELTS. IELTS. Sorry. I think undergraduate students most times are required to write TOEFL. Oh, sorry. Okay, why am I saying TOEFL? IELTS. IELTS.
IELTS.
IELTS. Yes. Yeah. So I'm talking about masters now. You don't need once you have been taught a university program in English, you can do that. So that is for proof of English. Then your transcript. I've already mentioned transcript. You need your transcript student copies. Then your degree certificate, original copy, original copy of a WAEC or NECO, which you must pass English. There are some schools that will give you discount because you pass English in your WAEC and NECO.
Mm. Do you need
Yes,
both WAEC and NECO, or
no,
WAEC
any of the two,
or
any of the
NECO? Any of the
WAEC or
two.
NECO. Yes,
Okay.
I leave as because apart from getting admission with your English, passing English, I know of a school like one or two that will still give you discount. Their
Mm.
discount requirement is you having a pass in your English language in WAEC level.
Wow.
So you need to understand why that is important as well. Then for those that want to come for engineering course, that is what we call ATAS certificate. ATAS is an evaluation. What is it called? If you want to study engineering, you must do that. It's part
Mm.
of the criteria. But if you are not engineering student, you don't need that. ATAS certificate is like a conversion. The way they use it to confirm your admission, just like you are going to Canada or US and you have to evaluate your result from West. So you have to do that. Then the your CV, updated copy of your CV. Now, because people are beginning to come to UK now, they've added employment letter to their criteria. Yeah, you must have your employment letter if you claim you are employed. So before you
But that's if you're,
package your
but sorry, but that's if you're coming for masters or PhD, because someone who is coming for undergraduate studies, probably he or she might not have worked before.
exactly. I'm talking about, I mentioned CV first before I mentioned this.
Mm.
If you are submitting your updated CV, any work experience you want to claim you have there. We understand the situation. I'm talking because I'm in Nigeria and I understand the situation of the country. Um, some people they are just doing people many people are managing, but when it's time for them to submit the package, the CV, the manager also doing that, so that they need to understand that if you claim to be who you are not, you must have the document of everything you claim on your CV. So before you prepare updated CV,
Mm.
be rest assured to claim what you know you can easily get document for.
Okay.
So that is where that is just is the latest what's it called development. They don't ask for it before, but from people that are coming by January, they start asking them to submit their letter, employment letter and promotion letter. So that should be taken care of as well. Then those are the things you need for to gain your admission. So after getting your admission, you need three documents for you to apply for your visa. Um, one is your proof of fund. You need proof of fund to show the United Kingdom that you have your money. You are coming to the same way you show it to every other country. So that's why I said if you have the means, it is what you should work on. Or if you have someone that want to assist you, that want to sponsor you, you must. So let me start from you having your money and how much you're expected to have. So if you got admission into London, any university in London, London is the capital of England. So if you get admission to with many universities, so if you get admission to any university in London, the money you're expected to have in your proof of fund is different from someone that got admission outside London because the cost of living in London is very expensive.
Different.
It's just like Lagos compared to Bumashaw or your Ilesha and the likes. The cost of living in those places differs.
Sure.
So that is why they are just being realistic here. So your proof of fund, what your proof of fund means that you, like I said, you have the money. But what money are they expecting you to have is the first thing is that your school fees. Then there is something they call maintenance fee. Maintenance fee is that the government believe you have the money. That's why you are not staying in your country to study. So the government wants you to come and spend your money in their country. So they want you to have the money for the first 9 months of your stay in the UK. So they are the one that did the calculation themselves. They don't want anybody to create nuisance in their country. So they want you to come in with your money so that you won't want to engage in any vices or bad things. So for London, if you are going for London, you must have 9,200 pounds as your maintenance fee for the first 9 months. So that 9,200, sorry, 12,000 for London. Sorry, 12,000 for London. Then you will add it for to whatsoever the amount of your school fees is. Let's assume that your school fees is 10,000. So that means it's going to be 10,000 plus
Plus,
12,000.
wow, that's like
So you must have 20
22,000
to
pounds
22,000 pounds in your account. And it's not a black market. The conversion will not be a black market. It will be at official rate.
official rate.
Yeah, so that you not start getting scared that I'm multiplied by 750. It's going to be at official rate. They use official rate. They use what they call Wanda. Wanda is Wanda rate is almost at parallel with is almost at the same thing with our official rate. So
Mm,
let's take up that. So if you are studying outside London, it is 9,207 plus whatever your school fees is.
wow. For 9 months.
Yes, the maintenance fees for them. If you want to do 4 years program, want to do 3 years program, want to do 1 year program, all you need to do is the maintenance fee for that first 9 months.
Okay, you must have that.
And this yes, and the school fees of
So
the first
after
year.
after the first 9 months, what happens?
No, they know you can as an international student either BSc, MSc or PhD, you are eligible to work for 20 hours during school session, and
Okay.
you can work for full time during holiday.
Oh, I see.
So then they know you will be fine.
Okay, but for the first 9 months.
Yes, but they don't want you to come in today and start prioritizing your looking for work.
Mm,
So they want you to
okay.
come in full. They want to come in fully prepared. That you won't rush work. You face your studies first, and
Mm,
so that's what they want. So your what's it, and regardless if you have 2 years course or 3 years program that you pay yearly for, the what your POV contains is your first year school fees. So the first year school fees and the 9 months maintenance fee is what you have in your proof of fund. So if you are going for £10,000 course for the first year, you add it to 9,207 if it's outside London, or plus 12,000 if it's within London. And the people that can sponsor you apart from you, if you want to show proof of fund, you must submit your statement of account.
mm, that's
If
true.
you are not submitting your own statement of account, you can only submit your parents' statement of account
Yes.
or your spouse if you are married. Nothing like my lost but fine uncle want to sponsor me. Nothing like my auntie from my maternal side want to sponsor me or paternal side. So it has
It's
to
either your
be either
parents or your
your parents,
spouse.
your spouse, or yourself,
Mm.
or an organization, maybe
Your
like
yeah,
the
maybe
government
your
of the,
company or
your company, the government,
can
which will
sponsor
be
you.
ready to release the document needed.
Mm.
But for primary sponsors, nothing like uncle, nothing like auntie, nothing like distance, enemy or friend, nothing like church member, nothing like uh my pastor,
No,
nothing of anything.
maybe your church member can, but okay, they can actually put the money in your parents' account, or
Yes, yes,
just
if they want to help, if they want to help.
directly in your
But
own account.
you know what we read online now. You rarely see people want to put their money to applicant account, except if it's a very extremely personal relationship.
Yeah, someone
It's
is
very difficult.
actually asking, Daniel Tochuku is asking that, what about your siblings sponsoring you?
No,
Maybe
it's a
like,
capital no. As far as this case is concerned, it's a capital no for you. The best your sibling can do for you, if they have the money, is to transfer the money to your account. And if
yes,
they don't trust you to that level,
to your
they
parents'
transfer the money
accounts.
to the yes. Do you know why I said that issue about choice? That I think like 2 or 3 months ago, we heard of a guy that put 11 million to his brother account for proof of fund, and
Mm.
the boy finished the money under 3 months while still in Nigeria.
Yeah.
It's online. Is what you can just Google it. 11 million naira proof of fund. I think they say use it for betting or something like that.
Oh
Forty
my
thousand,
god.
10,000, and the money finish. So if your sibling doesn't trust you because of what happens online, you can't blame them.
Hmm.
But if they don't
That's
trust you, they should be able
serious.
to trust your parents, any of your parents, so they could put the money into your parent account as a
Okay.
proof of fund. Yeah, that is that. But
That's for
okay,
to apply for your visa.
to apply for your visa, yeah. So you must that is your proof of fund, your school fees and your what's it called. So before that, okay, I said you needed three things. I just mentioned proof of fund.
Mm-hmm.
Then the second one is your tuberculosis test, which you need to book ahead. You need to book ahead because it's always very busy during the peak period, January, December, August for August, September for September session, November, December, January for January session. So, and it varies for 6 months. So if you know you are traveling, you'll be going to a school, resume to a school by September. It's advisable you do it around that April or May. The validity is for 6 months. If it's your January, you should do it around that June or July. So your TB certificate result, your POF, and what we call CAS. CAS is confirmation of admissions to study. That's what CAS means, admission studies.
Mm.
So what do you need to get your CAS? You need
That's
to make
yes.
you need to make your deposit, which varies from school to school. If a school offers you admission, they ask you to make a deposit. It could be £1,000, it could be 2,000, it could be 3,000, it could be 4,000, it could be 2,500, and this thing. But any deposit you make before you get your cash, you must deduct it from your POF, the POF you want to submit. So, for instance, now if your school fees is 10,000 and you already make deposit of 2,000, what you need to have in your POF will be 8,000 balance plus your maintenance fee.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and the POF has to be the money has to be in your account for 28 days for you to apply your visa for your visa.
Wow.
So if the money is not yours, if you want to ask your brother relative for support for proof of fund, you don't tell them you need it for 28 days. You tell them you need it for 2 months,
Mm.
because the money must be in your account until your admission is free, and they must this is an online program. I must say, the if the money is not yours, it's not allowed for proof of fund, except they want to give you and you pay them in the future. This is online. So although Nigerians has their way of finding solution to every problem, but because this is online, uh I will not want to say anything relating to beating a system. So the
But
money
then,
is
but then, sorry, like we'll soon be rounding up this conversation. But then, is it like there are no scholarships in the UK? Can't you apply for scholarships? And if there are, what's like what will be the differences? Do you still need this proof of funds and other stuffs like that?
Okay, now
or
thank
the
you.
easiest other, or are there other easy ways to
Okay,
study?
okay. Okay, the as far as scholarship is concerned, what majority of school gives as scholarship is the discount I mentioned.
Oh,
They won't call it discount, they will call it scholarship.
oh, I see.
Yeah, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000.
And then one
But
more
because
thing.
it's
Sorry, one more thing I would like to ask, that if you've already gotten admission, you're already in the UK, how easy is it to bring down your family? Maybe you're a married man and you like to bring your spouse
okay.
and your kids down.
Okay, let me just use the first minutes to answer the research sorry, scholarship. Oh,
Okay.
hello.
Hello, hello, I
Yeah.
can hear you.
On if you are coming for research masters, you are likely you can get scholarship. It might not be 100%, you could be like 50%, but it is not available in all the schools, and it's not for everybody.
Mm.
I've seen someone that has someone shared testimony on Sunday. He got scholarship of £10,000 from a university.
Wow.
So different so but it's not like a regular, it's not like a general thing. What most people come to do here is professional thought masters.
Mm.
So if you are going for research masters and PhD, you could be lucky to get a scholarship if your area of interest tallies with what they need.
Okay. Because
So the same.
I was actually thinking that doesn't mean that people who doesn't have a whole lot of money like that up to that extent, it's like as if
No, 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 no.
they can't travel.
If you are coming for, like, what most people come here to study is health related courses and business administration, business management. So all those one are they might not give you because they know professional business management. They know you claim to have worked to get your money. Then
Mm.
nurses, you are coming to uh, read here and go back to your country to develop your sector. So, but if you are coming to do research masters, you can get
Mm.
scholarship or PhD. PhD
Yeah.
students usually get scholarship. So for if once you are coming to the UK for BSc, or sorry, for masters or PhD, as a married person, you can bring your family as dependents.
Okay. So for that, they will also ask you for a particular, is it like they will ask you for a particular amount? You must have a
Okay,
particular amount before.
for for was like I mentioned about the proof of fund that UK want people that has money to come. So for every of your dependent that want to join you, they must show their statement of account, or you show it together with your own. So the calculation is that if you are studying in London, on each of your
Dependents.
dependent, wife or child or anything, children, you must each of them must have £7,600 as their maintenance fee. For London, for outside London, 6,120 per
Wow.
each of your dependents. Yeah, for the same 28 days.
Wow. And then one more thing is, what are the possibilities of being able to stay back after your studies? Like, you don't want to go back to your
Okay.
country, and the possibility of getting a permanent job, I mean a very good job to stay back, to keep you back in the UK.
Yeah. I think
Just
the
briefly
the
before
the Brexit.
we bring this to a close.
Okay. I think the possibility became more higher last year with the introduction of Brexit. Before they give priority after outside the home people like the indigenous, the citizens of the United Kingdom, they give priority to other European Union citizens too. Like if you are qualified and you apply for a job with any of them, they must give them priority before you. But
Yeah.
now, but now that priority is already taken care of with the Brexit. So you are left with yourself, competing to yourself. And one good thing is that most of professional work available, many of them doesn't they don't go to school. So
Really?
yes, but many of them doesn't go to school. As there is a report last year, percentage of continent that are school in United Kingdom for postgraduate was 39% for Asia, Africa 26%, home students 9%.
Okay.
So so there are a lot of opportunity now for people to get what's it called, tier two visa. The idea is this: if you come in with for your masters, either 1 year or 2 years, or PhD or 3 years, after your program for BSc and MSc, you get 2 years post study visa
Yes,
for
I
you
think.
to
Is it general
for
or for people in Scotland alone? Because I
no,
learned
no, no,
that.
general, the entire
Oh,
United Kingdom, you get 2 years post student if you finish your first degree or master, or if you do your PhD, you get 3 years post study visa. The essence of that of the visa is for you to find job, a
mm,
tier two visa. So that tier two visa, once you get your tier two visa in health, professional, career, banking, sales, and the likes, once you get it, then you will get 5 years work permit visa. So after that 5 years, you can apply for your 10 years indefinite leave of return.
oh, I see. Thank you
Yeah.
very much for that. I really appreciate it. So, just a few minutes before we round up this session, uh, after getting all these documents, you've gotten your, I
Yeah.
think you said 3 documents to apply for your visa. So, when your visa is
Okay.
ready, what's next?
Okay, when your visa is ready, then you come over to the UK. Whereas just like the general rule of every country is you cannot come in until your a month to your program start date, and most school will not even give you cards until 3 months to the commencement of your, what's it called,
Program.
of your program. So once you get your visa, it's for you to prepare yourself. You come in, you get the necessary document, you start your program, and you start your 20 hours per week also. But one good thing is that if you are coming with your partner can work.
Wow. Hello? Oh my God. Oh my God. Sorry. I guess network issues. Okay. I think it's a good um it's really an interesting one today. Okay, he's calling back. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry. Okay, yeah, yeah,
All right,
sorry. I
okay.
think I got disconnected.
Yeah, you were saying something that if your partner is coming with you, then your partner can work
Okay. Yes, yeah, that's a good thing. While you work for 20 hours a week as a student, your partner can work full time.
full time. Wow, that's great.
Yes.
So with that you
And
can easily source for fund.
your kids can go to free education. Sorry,
Oh.
they can go to free school. They've got free education to benefit from age
Oh.
5 to 16.
Oh, I see. Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for this privilege. We, at least I'm sure our viewers would have had and they will have an idea of what it takes to migrate to the UK via the study routes. Thank you so much. And if there is any other question from anyone, I'll get the questions and forward them to you. Thank you so much for your
Uh,
time. We really appreciate it. God bless you. A big thanks to all our viewers. Maybe as a result of one reason or the other, you couldn't drop your questions, or maybe you still have your questions. Don't worry, just drop them in the comment section. I'm going to forward your questions to Mr. Olawale, and then you can easily get your responses, your answers to your questions. So until next time, when I'll be coming your way, keep watching Say Matters with Roy.
thank
Okay,
you.
for now,
Bye.
bye bye.